known I was put on this earth to build a world where all kids can feel safe.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
We sure would love that if you'll have us.
Folks just love a good American family.
Not the people just love a good American family. I am yet awaiting a good American family. I'm hoping one day we'll get to see a good American family. But you guys, come on in the room. Come on in the room. If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And y'all know I'm here to put you on. And we are back tonight to talk Good American Family, episode 3. Just when I thought it couldn't get worse, the pressure is getting worse. And I'm not here alone tonight to talk about this by myself. Y'all know what it is. Tyra.
This plateaus I thought that we would be hitting beat for beat.
I did, I'm still holding out hope that at some point the perspective is going to pivot and we're going to get a whole new take and a whole new experience on this, because I feel like this is unjust. As much as you don't like, as much as after we've watched everything Natalia Grace, as much as we haven't cared for her or felt as though she may have ways based on her lived experiences, there's no way Natalia was giving this. Was she, Tyra?
Yeah, absolute girl. This is a Mike Epps production. I'm not about to play with you.
And next to the stage, we have B. Avery over at Just My Opinion Reviews. Hey, Brandon, how are you doing? Did you think it could get worse, sir? Did you think that after episodes 1 and 2, it would get this bad, Brandon?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And hello, everyone. How y'all doing out there? Hello, Tyra. Hello, Ashley.
Hey.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. And I'm really, really excited to talk about this episode. But no, Michael is driving me up a wall. I am fuming over here. I don't understand how it could have got worse. I mean, you would think that the way things ended in episode 2, we'd be like, okay, clearly something is awry. But she keeps giving him evidence and he is playing stupid. And it's driving me crazy. And so yeah, this is wild. And I'm excited.
Oh gosh, not excited to get into it. Well, without further ado, we are going to get right into it. And again, we're going to start here because I have to start here every single time. And Brandon, I'm going to start with you. Overall thoughts of episode 3. Did it deliver? Did it keep you on the edge of your seat?
It did deliver. I was entertained. At first, I didn't know what to think. I'm like, wait, maybe Natalia is telling the truth. And it's just this agency that's pulling the scam. By the end of it, I didn't feel that way. But overall, I really did enjoy it. I liked, excuse me, I liked the way it started, being in 2019. So we see where these characters end up. And then it goes back to 2010. So I'm just like, man, how the hell are we going to get there? I don't want to dive too deep into the details because I'm pretty sure that we'll get there. But I really did enjoy it. I'm loving Ellen. Why am I forgetting her name? Kristine. I'm loving her and all the confrontations that she's having. Just like I'm not playing games. And Michael is the complete opposite. That's probably why they're divorced. But overall, I thought it was a great episode, and they really escalated the situation, and so I'm just really eager to see what's going to happen next.
Absolutely. And I have one more question for you before I get to Tyra here. Is Natalia a villain? Based on what you've seen in these first 3 episodes, is she this super villain that's being perpetuated in your mind?
100%. 100%. The facial expressions, the looks, the attitude. I mean, towards the end where she was like, Michael's lying to you. I mean, that's not a child. That's not somebody innocent. She's being manipulative. She's a 1,000,000% the villain.
Oh gosh, Tyra. Overall thoughts and knowing what you know, is Natalia really the villain in this story?
I'm gonna leave everything I ever knew behind just for this series. She is the villain. I'm waiting for the projectile. No, we can forget that. I'm waiting for projectile vomiting. I'm waiting for her to crab walk down some stairs backwards. I'm waiting for the Exorcist to happen. Okay, I'm ready for her to be a cannibal, to bite somebody. It's the tampon for me. It's the projectile, like spraying of the disinfectant, and Daddy, please get me. She's terrible. Oh my God, Daddy, help me. It's all of that, the theatrics for me. This is not at all what anybody thought it was. And I'm okay with that. This is outlandish on top of everything that happened in the story that's actual factual. Somehow they found a way to take it up a notch and not care. This is not supposed to be some reflectionary expose on Natalia. This is not for Natalia. This is just for exploitation, and we just need to accept that and move on. But this is crazy and ridiculous.
Lord, and read your super chat, Tyra. Read your super chat.
Thank you so much, Dane. Tyra, cancel this live. I haven't watched this yet. Unfortunately, Dane, I will not be doing that. No. Everybody here is privy to the schedule, Dane. Get with the program.
Get with the program, Dane. Get with the program. Get in the Discord. I even made a special announcement in there about the upcoming lives, Dane. Come on, do better.
Dane, he probably ain't see it yet.
Overall thoughts, this was good TV. However, I have a moral dilemma because I know the truth of a thing, and there's no way you're going to paint Kristine and Michael as the saints that are just been so in their lives. I despise everything about this, but we'll get into it. But I mean, this is good entertaining TV. This is a good hour of TV every week to watch. And this episode was entitled Ghosts Everywhere because, child, there are. So off the cuffs of last episode, we know that episode 2 ended with Michael. She's got hair down there. I don't think she's who she says she is. As we open up into this episode, Kristine is walking into a hotel room at the place where she was giving her lecture about being the perfect mom, and her sons are in there watching a news broadcast about her being charged and arrested for neglect, child abuse, all of these different charges. And basically Jake saying, well, Mom, if they didn't have any evidence against you, how'd you get arrested? Tyra, I'm going to start with you. She's delivering pizza and still not the guilty party. I'm innocent, boys. You know this. But Jake says, Mom, no, you're not. How'd they get enough to arrest you?
She's never going to be like the guilty party in her mind. And as far as the writers, they don't want the audience to see her as the guilty party. There is no way that that's, the goal here. I was waiting like for the state of the children. Like they just look fine and okay. And we're still not admitting to, he didn't say like, oh, Mom, we aren't. He said, no, you aren't. We're still resolving any situations we had where the boys were playing an avid role in what was happening to Natalia. So that just leads me to believe that this is all just going to be based on whatever they wanted the narrative to be. But yeah, I feel like she did what she needed to do and was like, well, it's not just going to be me getting taken down and my image going astray. Oh, Michael over there living in, I ain't going to say squalor, living in that nice appointed home. living in that home, telling you whatever you thought you needed to know about me to put me in this situation. I'm exposing everything, but she always feels like she has an image to uphold, even if she's in here with these three boys who were probably around to see exactly what happened. But you're in here saying I'm innocent. Don't believe that, girl. That's not what we seen in the house.
Listen, and Jake's gonna tell you every time. And that's the one thing I'll say I enjoyed is that we are starting to see the foundation crack a bit, even with her other kids, namely Jake, right? In the episode. But of course, we'll get to that. Brandon, were you surprised at Jake's response to Kristine when she came delivering the pizza and is like, turn this off? This is, mess. And he's like, well, Mom, if they didn't have any evidence, how'd you get arrested? And her response is, it's your father. No, he hasn't been arrested. He probably took a deal or something. This is all his fault. What did you think of this interaction? And does it make you question her innocence?
Yeah, it makes me question everything. And I'm mixed on how I feel about it. Because on one hand, I'm happy that the boys are with her. Because to me, I'm like, at this point, I'm thinking she's the same one. Michael's the one that's want to be, Delulu on purpose. So at least they went with the same parent, because, I didn't know how the episode ended at this time, but still at the end of the episode 2, I was siding with Kristine, so I'm just like, okay, she got custody. But like you said, it does raise a question because he is questioning her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you have all this evidence. It's blatantly obvious, or maybe not, obvious that she's an adult or there's a con. How did it get all the way in like national or international news that Kristine is the bad one? Like, what happened? Did gosh, what is the Natalia burn all the evidence or something? Like what happened? So I just don't know because I thought it was a cut and dry case, but apparently somebody's doing something behind the scenes, and we got 9 years to find out, to explore. So I'm mixed. If that answers your question, hopefully.
It does. It does. And easing on down the road, victory and defeat in the matter of moments, because the look of elation that was on Michael's face when he sees Kristine in cuffs walking across his TV. Oh, we got her. Look, babe. Kristine, look at her. She looks bad. Look at her. She look real bad. I said, Michael. Not 5 minutes later to get a call from the same detective he rolled on everything over on to say, Michael, the prosecutors are picking it up and you're going to be charged as well. I didn't do anything. Well, F you then, man. Brandon, what did you think of his joy turning into pain in a matter of moments? And what do you think of Michael in this situation and predicament now?
It's funny. He got him a whole new family, and that's wild. The coworker, and so yeah, he looked like he had that good pizza from the mall with the Parmesan cheese and stuff. But he doesn't look like he's doing the best. I'm not gonna say that I've never kind of smiled if somebody that did me wrong kind of tripped and fell. Like, oh, that's what you get. But he was really enjoying himself over here, and I don't know of any divorce that was successful, if you can call that. People are usually bitter. But it was kind of funny for him just to be like, ha, ha, ha. But then 60 seconds later, the pie's in his face. So I'm just really eager to see again how these people got here because they hate each other. And, this new relationship that he has, too, is really funny, so.
It is the Circuit City run. I mean, the Circuit City blood runs deep, apparently. And honestly, Tyra, this was probably the closest depiction that this actor, Mark Duplass, got to the real Michael in my mind. Like the look of glee on his face when he's watching. Look how bad she looks. Because in real life, Michael is very flamboyant. He's very kind of effeminate anyway. And so the fact that he was like, look at what she got on. She looks a mess. Tyra, what did this do for you in this moment? And what did you think about his quick flip, like, from joy to despair?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, look at her, split ends, bags in her eyes, no makeup. Ha! Like Michael, please. It was like master manipulation. Like he was so happy, and then it got snatched immediately. And then we just really get into his real character of him Michael's an eccentric, like, simpleton. It's like, buddy, wait, I thought we were friends. I were cool. I thought we had an understanding. Like, not me too. Like, I thought we was like, no, silly. Like, you implicated yourself. I'm sure with multiple things. Like, all of these things were going on, and you just were none the wiser. We definitely aren't going to get that here when this narrative gives him just being oh so close to Natalia. You were a part of it. You, even if you weren't, that hands on, you saw things and you did nothing. So yeah, you got to go down too. But I thought that this was absolutely comical.
I did too, because Michael, this is what you get. Again, it drives me crazy to see him acting like, oh, I just love Natalia. I was her true blue. I was her only champion in this. It's like, go directly to the hot place, Michael. But that tickled me. Now we are easing on down the road, because now Kristine has a wild hair. She saw the hair down there, and now it's time to get some things to build a case, because if nothing else, Kristine is methodical. We met her in real life, and we know that's who she is. And I think they're doing a great job of showing that with the mask, right, that she wears. But we meet with this doctor who is in real life a family friend to them, right? She's known them years. And my biggest regret is ignoring you, Kristine. You were right about Jake, so that means you must be right about everything else. Natalia has had no surgeries. As a matter of fact, she needs to deal with these clubbed feet, these legs, these hips, all of that. And, it's very rare to see pubes down there at this age. However, let's get our hormones checked. Puberty is on a spectrum. We'll get this taken care of, because what I won't do, Kristine, is I won't ignore you. Tyra, I'm starting right here with you. What did you think of us actually getting to meet the doctor that we'd heard about in the doc, and how he interacts with Kristine? Kristine is the boss. She runs everything, and I feel like this was just really, it really spoke to that.
Absolutely. This was interesting. I don't think we got this in any of the docs. We hear about the doctor, but as far as the closeness, I think from top to bottom, when you finish the entire story and see what the resolve was, everybody's questions were like, okay, who does she know? There has to be somebody at the top level, whether it is doctors, lawyers, police, judges, for these things to happen, certain things not to take place in court. Or we can't use this as evidence. You can say this, but you can't say that. This would explain. I just want to, like, who else do you know? How deep does the rabbit hole go? Because she had to have known somebody or had some connections for things to turn out the way that they did. So to hear him say, like, oh, we're like this, and I should have listened to you about my own. I was like, oh, so you guys have history. This isn't just some random doctor. But I also kind of like the seeds being planted, this good American family. There's absolutely nothing good about it, first of all, but they're constantly lying to each other. They're lying to each other right here. I thought with her saying, certain things about the agency and them being duped or whatever, we still can't say, like, oh, Natalia, she can't go to school. She's, a problem. There's this. Or, when we see evidence of Natalia being one way, girl, pick it up and put it under his nose at this point, because Michael is choosing to be blind, really revel in these opportunities to have Natalia looking outlandish. So he is turning to you, which at this point with Michael, it doesn't even really just seem like what else do you need to see to stop excusing her behavior? But yeah, I'm just wondering now, like, who else do you know at the top?
That'll be the test, and I hope we see that, because we do see her interact with her one good friend who seems to have a little bit of coin, a little change. But how far-reaching is Kristine's reach? Brandon, I'm coming to you next. My biggest regret, Kristine, is not listening to you. It was ignoring you like everyone else did. And also, Natalia hasn't had any surgery, so that $7,000 you paid to that adoption agency, they pocketed that. What did you think of this interaction with this doctor who's also a family friend?
Yeah, I like the actor for one. I just got to say that every time he pops up in something, I'm like, oh, it's that guy again. So he's cool, and I felt that way. And also, Tara, interesting take. I didn't even think about that as far as like who do you know at the top. So good job there. Something I wanted to bring up. I did laugh when he was like, "Hey guys, do you need a minute?" Michael was like, "Yes," and she was like, "No, stay." And he was like, "Well, it is your office," and so that was just kind of some, funny, cringe, awkward moment right there. But I do like the fact that there is a history, and I kind of thought that him saying I ignored you, I don't want to do it again was genuine. I wasn't thinking that he was trying to CYA, cover his behind. I could be wrong, but this is to me answered the question of how the episode started. Of like, okay, how did they end up? Because I'm like, okay, they're not going to make it here if they're lying to each other. Michael, he's just like, oh my God, for 3 days and you can't say anything. Yet he hasn't disclosed the information about Circuit City. And so it was appalling. Michael, what else do you need to realize that this is not normal? And then why are you not, you're more upset that your wife didn't give you the information, you're lying to her, but you don't seem that upset that you just wasted $7,000. There's no surgeries. Like, sound the alarm. Like, I'm getting on the phone now and documenting everything like immediately. So I like the interaction because it just really showed how crappy their relationship is, and it's not really a good American family. It's a stinky American family.
It's definitely a terrible American family. And even outside of that, when we're thinking about this is really laying the foundation for what will happen eventually in the future, because it all starts here, right? Because this is your starting point. What would I do if I want to prove that Natalia is not who she says she is and isn't the age that she says she is? Well, I'm going to send you some referrals. And of course, Michael, being that he's jobless and a brokey at the moment, listen, we haven't met our deductible, okay? Kristine, well, what does it matter? You've got this big promotion, Michael. So let's ease on down the road. And so now it's referrals and we're building a case, because I really want us to get into this mind frame of who Kristine really is. And like I said, she's strategic. So I'm taking everything that's being said to me by these professionals and I'm going to build from that. So I'm taking Natalia to every doctor possible. I'm taking her to the dentist. First, I'm going to bring her little scooter that she doesn't seem to need when you're having her walk miles around the block every 2
Walk around the block.
I was like, how many times are you going to have her walk? She can't walk. Like, the way that she is so mobile here, on ambulatory on her own, is beyond me. Okay. But so she goes to every doctor. She's showing out because, again, we're building a case. Tyra, I'm going over there because you're the most animated in this moment. What do you think about these long walks around the block and all these visits?
Because I'm sorry, like, if you've seen and you've watched Natalia and how hard of a time she's had walking, like, let alone unassisted without her, but just, walking, and how painful it is for her to walk around the block. I was like, what?
Go for a walk, Natalia. Go walk around the block.
And then she just goes, like, and we see her so much without her scooter, without anything, the special shoes. We don't see her with anything. Natalia just looks unaffected. I was like, this is not for Natalia. Because the brunt of Natalia's pain when it came to her was, inflicted on her body in the standing and the walking, and it was a lot. So it's just like, oh, go for a walk now. I was like, what? But the referrals in the building of the case is like, yeah, this is just all for Kristine to build, like, well, I got something here, because so far we haven't found anybody to tell her she's actually this age or this or that. I guess we're gonna meet that later on in another episode. But she's getting enough here to where I think when she was talking about when they keep referring to the son who has the autism and not giving up on him, and all these people, referred me to this and that because they were saying that I was wrong, but I chose to kind of go on my own whim, and look how he turned out. So everything in my body is telling me that Natalia is 83. I'm gonna go with that, and we're gonna pinpoint everything until we get to Natalia being 38. Okay, I'm gonna get the result that I want regardless of whoever's telling me whatever. But the walk around the blocks are killing me.
Listen, I was like, really? And the way she left that scooter at her feet and was like, come on, Natalia, get in the car. Brandon, talk to me about this. What did you think of all these doctor's appointments? And what did you truly think Kristine's motivation is with this?
I'm still team Kristine over here. She's upset and she's taking all of her frustrations out on Natalia. I have a different opinion on it now, though. You open my mind because I mean, it's funny that she really is making her go walk, like, and she can't do that. That's just, that is torture. That is child abuse. But at the same time, she's not a child. But at the same time, I don't know, because this montage, and she was like, they were saying, I think it's at this point that her condition is not even 1 in a million; it's 1 in 2 million.
Yeah.
And there's no way to know through normal testing how old she is, etc. She's like, but her skull is the same size as an adult, and she has adult teeth. And so at this point, I'm just like, well, damn, like, what is going on? Like, it's the agency is a scam, but maybe Natalia really doesn't know. And I was saying to myself, should we feel sorry for her? And I was like, no, hell no. No matter what, there's no excuse for your behavior. But the walking is funny. I don't know why they still had to pay for this. I would have tried to pull some receipts and say, like, hey, we already gave this 7,000. Let's try to track this, follow the money. But I don't know. It was funny and cruel at the same time.
Absolutely. And being that the agency is now closed, there's not really a way to get the money back, right? And so now we go to see a specialist, because if the medical, the actual, as it relates to her condition, her body, all that's not working, let's get into her mind, right? Natalia has an attachment disorder. Feed her like a baby, but if she's over 18, she's a sociopath, right? And so I think this is really the thing that spearheads Kristine's next mission, because Kristine says, the only useful thing that lady told us was that if she was over 18, she'd be considered a sociopath, and I might have some other options. Brandon, I'm going to start here with you, because you don't know the real story. So just from this interaction with this therapist, first of all, what did you think of her approach? Hold Natalia, feed her, swaddle her like a baby, put her to bed. But if she's over 18, these behaviors do suggest that she is a sociopath.
Yeah. First, I was like, man, I really want to look up like the real story and see how much is real and how much is fake, because this is just so wild, But what got me with this scene is how different the reception was of the news from Kristine to Michael. I mean, Michael was like, oh my God, okay, great. This makes sense. It was like confirmation bias for him. Like, yes, I knew it. There was an explanation. There's nothing wrong with Natalia. It's because she didn't have a mommy and a daddy, and this is normal. We got to treat her like a baby. Yes, yes, yes. We have an answer. We found the solution. But Kristine's response was the funniest. Like, like you said, like, okay, so you're saying that if she was 18, she's a psychopath, but I got to, put a bottle in her mouth. And when she spin it like that, I'm like, yeah, I like how she's being more logical than emotional. And so again, another moment to where the rift is widening between their relationship, their marriage. The specialist, she was kind of kooky to me, but hey, more power to her. But yeah, Michael is Michael's ridiculous. Looking at the picture there too.
Tyra, talk to me about it.
Kristine wants a refund. Return to send. This is not what I thought I purchased. Get this, whatever we need to do to get her out of here. Like, this is insane. This is insane. And I don't know how many quacks they maybe went to, and maybe if this was a thing, I don't recall this. I don't recall this happening. So I'm like, did you guys just put this in here for it? I was like, y'all had to just put this in here for the show, because there's no way the Michael that we know, he was making time to feed Natalia baby food, swaddle her, and feed her milk from a bottle. There's no way. There's no way. I'm like, you guys they have to just put this here. I don't recall this information. They had to. But this is crazy. Like, Michael's a lot of things, but he's not this. He's not this. We let alone. First of all, we ain't got time, girl. I'm trying to drive real fast in a fancy car. I ain't got time for this. Like, who's doing this? But it does show just how far Michael is willing to go to get this precious little girl and this family unit. That it's just Natalia just doesn't give what the Michael's warranted behavior. Natalia doesn't give that. She gives demon seed. And it's just not. So when he's, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This was really, really weird. But it's like, if Michael is willing to go this far to help and save her, how much further is he willing to go or tolerate?
Mm-hmm. Apparently too much. So now he's at work, y'all, and it's bye-bye Circuit City and comforted by the new wifey, Tyra, because this is the woman we see in the opening scene with him. Like, Michael, what's wrong? Comforting him, telling him to get Kristine and lay her down on the Circuit City floor and rock her world to deliver the news to her about the loss of his job. I want to know from you, Tyra, is that a good strategy? And what do you think about them even making us spending so much time with this part of the story? I'm like, it's very off-putting that they're spending so much time with the whole Circuit City thing for me.
I don't know. I don't want to be in Circuit City. We all know them Circuit Cities got closed down. Like, why are we here? Why are we here? We know Michael clearly is immature. He's nervous and scared. He doesn't want to look a certain way in front of Kristine and not want to look like I'm not a provider for my family. But at the same time, how long is this charade gonna? You gonna wait for the bills to all turn pink before you? All right, everybody, calm down. I no longer have any income. Like, all this energy that you're putting towards hiding and keeping this a secret could be energy towards finding a new job. Like, what are we doing here? This with the soon to be wife, like, who cares? Like, I don't care about the foundation of their relationship. That never really had anything to do with anything. But they are letting us know that she does care enough for Michael. He always sitting on the floor like a child. He's, Michael is, they do have certain essences here of Michael, like him kind of having those adolescent ways about himself and that immaturity to where he would be sitting. I'm not good enough. That's why he besties over there with Natalia. Just weird. Like, there's that, but I don't really know why we need so much of it. This better be the last episode where we hear about Circuit City.
Lord, please, Brandon, bye-bye Circuit City and the new wifey. What do you think the significance is for them showing her and her comforting him? And will this advice work, do you think? Bring Kristine into the Circuit City office, lay her on down, and give her the business, Michael, and that'll make it all better.
No, Michael just does not have it in him to pull such a stunt. I'm sure there's other, people out there that would appreciate something like this, but that's just not his style. So I don't think he's going to be pulling it off. But a lot of things are running through my mind as far as their relationship. I'm wondering, okay, have they messed around before? Is the baby his? We don't know if they went around the corner at the last Christmas party or something like that. So in 2019, he could have a teenager that he's not aware of. I'm being dead serious. And it's just an interesting relationship because I feel some type of way that Michael ended up being with her, knowing how flirtatious she was at this point in time. Like, she doesn't seem like the loyal type. I could be wrong. And for you to settle for that, okay, well, maybe that's okay because he's like, I'm 49 years old, or I already got kids, I'm not going to be going to the club and trying to pick up a shawty, so let me just take what I can get. I don't know. I actually do want to see more of their relationship and how it came to be. I wouldn't mind. Let me say, I'm not saying I want it, but I wouldn't mind. I'm not bored with it so far. I'm just like, whoa, how did this end up? So. Yeah, that's a great picture to, both of them. Oh no, all three of them. I'm tripping just to really. He's a weenie.
Weenie, a general weenie down.
That's a good name right there. It's just come on, Michael is tripping across the board.
And delusional. It's like, so are we gonna keep? It's like, I need you to get your ish and get your little coworkers to be out of here before the end of the day.
I was told never to accept no from an answer. And then when Kristine's mama said, well, he said his mama dropped him on his head when he was a baby. I said, listen, what we're not going to do is make this make sense for Michael. Because I could see him having been dropped on his head as a baby because he's just.
I just thought about a term work wife or work. I never heard. It's been a while since I heard that. And she got her hands on them and stuff. Mm-hmm. I guess it turned out to be for real. But it's inappropriate.
I know we're painting him to look like a victim, right, than a savior. which is odd.
Absolutely. That's what the people do. So now we are into it, and there were too many scenes to put it in different slides, so we're just gonna put them all together. Because honestly, and what I was thinking as I finished this episode the first time, I said, "Oh, this is a dream sequence. This is Kristine's alternate reality, right? Because if we listen to everything that was said to her at the beginning of this episode, these are all the behaviors that she ends up demonstrating, right? I think the first doctor asks her, well, has she come on her monthly? Does she have a period? Does she have a menstrual cycle? And then we hear about behaviors. And so this is the first time we see it. We see her, when confronted, grab Kristine by the face, by the eyes, while she's driving, trying to cause her to crash. We see her trying to beat up the brothers in the back seat with her little self. We see her standing in the corner talking about, Kristine, I'm not afraid of you, right? You know I'm not scared of you. Get her, daddy. She's a monster. I didn't do anything. And, we'll see some other things and I'll get into those individually. But Tyra, I'm starting with you. The making of a monster. What did you think about all of these episodes? All of these events that we saw with Natalia and her behaviors?
Girl, this is the makings of the, generic horror movie that we have yet to see. I want to see this movie. This is the orphan and then some. This is, the little inbred orphan. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. There's no way in hell you would let Natalia take precedent over your livelihood in life as well as your 3 sons. Like, no, nobody's tolerating this. This is insane. She literally almost just runs over her own son and crashes the car. And Michael's like, "Oh, what did you do? Oh, daddy, like, get me out of here!" And he just melts and picks her up like the overgrown 9-year-old she is. Like, why are we holding her? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And coddling her. The looks, like the off-centered evil glares and stares into the camera. He's lying to you, right? Like, he lost his job. You don't have any income. I was like, what? Why are we doing this? Why are we painting this narrative of Natalia? Like, this is just not helping. And it's sad because some people may not have went down those streets and have seen, anything. So if you are just watching this, you're like, oh gosh, this, 57-year-old Natalia is a piece of work. We got to get her out of here. She's a hindrance to these people's livelihood. And this could be their first impression of her. But this is really insane. And I just want to see the movie that this is based off of. This is The Orphan. This is The Omen. This is The Seed of Chucky. This is all of that wrapped into one. Like, all of the narratives that are painted. And how long are we going to do this to where she's calling it out and then Michael chooses to ignore it? How long is this cycle going to continue? And if she's not afraid of her now, and she's still, playing her cards, at what point is Natalia going to be afraid of her to get her in the position that we know that Natalia ends up in?
That's the question of the day, Tyra. Because listen, if Natalia was really doing all of this, the level of fear that I would have having her in the house with my children, right? We'd already seen the thumbtacks. Now she's trying to throw people from vehicles. She's opening the doors on the freeway. She's doing all manner of evil, Brandon. What do you think of these scenes that we saw with Natalia demonstrating, psychopathic tendencies, to be quite honest?
Yeah. At first I was a bit frustrated with Kristine because the shot, if she was doing a voiceover, just like, yeah, the behavior is just getting worse and escalating. And it showed her fighting the boys in the back of the car, like while she's driving. And she was just looking in the mirror, like, stop it, calm down. I was thinking, like, how are you allowing this? Like, these are your blood, and she's terrorizing them. They're not just horsing around. She's being very dangerous. Last episode, you saw her with a knife. So, Kristine, what are you doing? But when we got to where she crashed the car, I was like, okay, yeah, Kristine has some sense. She's done. She's like, I'm leaving. I'm taking the boys. I think that's what she said. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that was cool right there. But this also just kind of just shows that Natalia is suicidal. Not only did she try to kill Kristine, like, she don't care about her own life. Like, who does that? Like, nobody just has that thought process. But yeah, I love the slide and the caption, the making of a monster, because she does look horrific. Have we made it to the scene where, I guess, yeah, I'm not afraid of you. When she asked her to go put her face in the corner, she had
Yeah,
the
that's
camera.
her, the top left one.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
I'm not afraid of you.
I mean, man, get that on video. Like, Jesus Christ. But at this time, Kristine is like, I'm done, because she got the letter and all that. I think that's when she was talking about giving her the chores and stuff. But at least Kristine is like, has some sense at this point. So that's cool. Michael is just like, come on, man. You are weenie times two. At this point, man, she tried to kill your family. Like, and you just picking her up, like, leave her outside like a dog.
The denial is a river in Egypt. Okay,
And your husband is gay.
all of that. But no, so we do see the onslaught of some new rules, because she goes online and gets some new tips for parenting. But again, if Natalia is really this much of a horror, what are these walks around the block and you going to stand in the corner going to do? And is she really going to do it? You know what I mean? That's what begged the question for me in these moments. And so now we are on to press tours and Jake being fed up, because now the offers are rolling in, right? Because Jake is this Mensa candidate. He's got his PhD, he's got his degree, and he knows everything now. And so she's getting offers, and they do the first interview, and Natalia leaves a present on the floor. I didn't put it in this slide because trigger warning. Okay, it was nasty. You got to be a nasty gutter bucket low class snipe to do something like that. Yeah, Natalia couldn't have been in my house. But anyway, so she's there. After it, Jake is like, listen, Mom, and we'll get into the bloodiness of it all, okay, y'all, in another slide. But in this, Jake is like, Mom, you know what? This needs to be the last interview. I'm tired. I don't like this attention. He's autistic after all, right? And struggles with some sort of social anxiety. And in this moment, Kristine promises, sure, Jake, no, we don't have to do this anymore. We won't do it. Brandon, talk to me about this. What do you think of Kristine's newfound notoriety and the fact that Jake is fed up and her making a promise? Son, if this doesn't work for you, we don't have to do it anymore.
I really don't know. I'm really eager to hear what Tyra has to say as a mother. Ashley, do you have any children?
No babies.
No? Because, like, on one hand, I don't want to like force my child to do something that they don't want to do. A lot of times parents, when they didn't live the life, or when someone doesn't live the life that they wanted, when they have children, they try to project their life onto their kid and have them live the life they wanted, and they're still fulfilled. And that crossed my mind here, that, hey, is she forcing him to do something that she doesn't want? But at the same time, I'm like, should she stop? Because, wait, what am I trying to say here? I don't know if she should push him or she should listen to the child. Because on one end, what if the child wanted to sign up for something and then, they say, okay, if we do this, I want you to complete it. I don't want you to get in here and saying that this is difficult and then you quit in the middle of it. So I don't know if that's, the mindset she has. So I don't know. On some end, on one end, and you also said he's autistic and, it may be too much. So I don't know. I don't know if she should listen to him and be like, okay, no more, or be like, no, you said we was going to start this and complete it. We're not going to quit until the end. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to say it. If you promise the baby no more. Be a woman of your word, Kristine. And I don't like that. Every time it gets into kids and like them being on this platform that they didn't necessarily choose, I run into this moral dilemma. But Tyra, as a mother out here in the streets, talk to me about press tours and Jake being fed up and Kristine's broken promises.
Girl, Jake never asked for this. Last time I checked, Jake was trying to go on down to college. If this could lead to me getting a higher education and exhausting some of those capabilities that I can at your local average middle or high school, that's what I'm about. We couldn't give me any leverage to go to college. That's just too much. I can't trust, but you could take me on a whole press tour and have me out in the public. I never asked for that, especially when he's dealing with anxiety and autism and all these other things. This could trigger and have him. And this is the baby that we see in the later state in the doc and how he was. This would explain how he ended up like that.
Mm-hmm.
This was a bit too much. And if he's saying no to something, and I think in the beginning Kristine maybe intended, well, maybe if that's what you want, then that's what you want. But I can hear the streets calling. I can hear the notoriety. I can hear the book sales. I can hear the check, especially when we realize that little baby no longer works in Circuit City. Sometimes it's going to have to trump what I maybe told you before, but this isn't just about a financial situation. She wants exposure and notoriety for what she wants to do or has been trying to do with these children in the foundation and the center, and she hasn't yet to really find that. So if she can find it through these kids, she's going to do it. Let's not act like Kristine as a mother was a choice. Regardless of what we see here, she was a choice. But yeah, if you tell someone something, especially your babies, you stand on it, especially if it's something that may trigger them to go down. Because the his state in the doc was really, really sad.
It was. It really was, especially with all of the potential that he had. Y'all, this was nasty. This was grounds for eviction right there. Mona the goddess said it best. I would have dropped her off at the fire station because pack your raggedy duffel bag and get out of my house, you nasty heifer. Because there's no way in reality that this happened. But again, this is indicative of what the first doctor said. Well, has she reached her menses? Like, is this a thing? So now Kristine is in the best mood ever because she's just gotten call, for another interview, and she's cleaning up, bippity bopping and booing around the house, and goes to Natalia's room and sees all of these socks filled with blood. Brandon, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna go over there first. What do you think of this? This further just cemented your support of Kristine, right? Because this proves that Natalia's a grown woman.
Well, yeah. Well, first, it is gross. It's man, God. I mean, I'm not. And I'm also. I'm trying to. I'm not trying to be silly. I was just imagining the smell, like possibly, But that is not. That's a very, very unsightly. I'm surprised by Kristine's reaction though, because she wasn't irate. I mean, going back, she would just, hey, what's going on? I found some bloody stuff in the closet. Are you okay? Was it your nose? When I first saw her reaction, I'm thinking that she's gonna be like, oh hell no, what the hell is this? What is this? But she was trying to be nice and then ended up crashing the car. But this is nasty as hell. And at the same time, I don't know if it still cements that she's a grown adult because, women do, of course, y'all know more than me, of course, but, that happens at a young age. And also, a small bit of me was trying to be sympathetic, because I have heard stories before of, little girls starting their period and no one ever told them. They didn't know what was going on. I mean, the first time they even heard of the concept is when it was happening and they had psychological issues. And so I was kind of thinking like, okay, maybe that's what Natalia's going through or whatever, but it is nasty. And it's still no excuse to crash a car when somebody asks you about it. But
Oh, goodness, she couldn't help it. She was overcome with those hormones, Brandon. Tyra, talk to me. Tyra, talk to me about this bloody mess and Kristine's response. Did you think she was kind in her response?
She got to go. Natalia has to go. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're called disposable pads for a reason, Natalia. This was gross. There is no way in hell I'm gonna see this and then have a little, yeah. So like your period, did you start it? Do you need some help with that? You want me to teach you how to use a tamp? No, there's no. This is calls for termination. You're fired. You're never to return. You're barred from the facilities moving forward. This isn't just oh, I'm nervous. I'm getting my period for the first time and I don't know what to do because nobody ever told me. No, this is, I have actively been having my period for a while and I'm hiding it from this family because I don't want them to think I'm a grown adult. Like they are really doubling down. There's like no questioning. I thought the show would really lean into how old is she? There's no questioning it if she's actively hiding it. Like as a little girl, why would you feel the need to hide it? The only other alternative is, some girls do mature a lot faster. I have, heard of girls, if you're 7 or 8, you may, have gotten your period at that time, or you might have, hair. That's not an unheard of situation. But the reaction from Kristine, and I don't know why she didn't collect all of these and lay them on Michael's pillow. I don't know. That's why I'm at with Michael. But other than that, this was really, really disgusting. And it just seems like every time she questions Natalia, that's when her behavior just gets really irate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I listen, this is all to me a fever dream. This is literally we are stuck in a
Wait, did she
delusion.
did she get her period in the? I don't recall
Yes,
this
they
either.
said that she ate it. So I'm just glad they didn't say that in
Wait,
this.
what?
You remember. You
I did.
remember.
They said she. I don't recall. I don't recall.
Yes. Kristine had told Michael that, and this is on the documentary, the first part, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, that Kristine told Michael that she got her cycle and that she would eat it.
Oh no.
Eat it. So I
Yeah,
am
I
glad we
don't.
didn't go that far with this, but
That's what I'm saying. This is all Kristine's narrative. Like, maybe not me, maybe I didn't remember it because it was never anything set in stone to where Natalia would acknowledge, well, yeah, I was young and we never confirmed whether she got her period or not. It just seems like a divide as far as what Kristine was using to maybe juice up the narrative, like, oh, there's hair, and she has a period, and she did this, and she did this. All these things prove that. I really don't think that she had her period yet, and she was hiding it in a closet, child.
child,
Jesus.
not like that. But like I said, they could have made it more salacious. Like I said, the facts are stranger than fiction in this situation. So now we're easing on down, and here's just another episode. Natalia, it's your turn to clean. You're gonna have new chores every day. All right. And now I need you to clean the kitchen. Here's a bottle of some toxic cleaner, and I'm gonna leave my cup right here. So when you spray, it's gonna get in there, and I'm gonna say you tried to get me. I thought this scene was really interesting because Jake is there the whole time. Michael comes in a little bit after. When she confronts Jake, did you see her spray that in my? He's like, no, like he's just kind of standing there. And I thought that was really an interesting take on it because again, everything we've seen so far has been in Kristine's favor. Tyra, talk to me about this. This was famous, infamous in the
Yeah, I
documentary
remember
as well.
this.
Her
I
spraying the Windex in the coffee.
Yeah, I remember this more so than the cycle situation. And this was really kind of the stamp on Kristine, like, oh, okay, now I'm finna turn up because this heifer trying to kill me. She's really trying to kill me. You intentionally are trying to poison me. The son kind of being in the kitchen, we're really leaning into the narrative of him looking at her behavior and starting to look at her sideways like he did with the interview. Like, I don't just not want to do them anymore, but I don't like the way you sound. Why are you talking like that? Why are you changing? It's like you're a different person. Can we just not? This isn't my mom. So him questioning her, that is, an interesting situation. But yeah, whatever they say Natalia did, she did it. She sprayed it.
Brandon, did she spray it in that lady cup and want her to drink it and die?
Yeah, she did. She definitely did. It's obvious. And Michael is stupid for not believing his wife. Like, what is y'all's marriage built on? Y'all don't communicate. Y'all don't believe each other. The evidence was there because right after this, she put out the papers and was like, this is the fake picture. This is false. It's fake. Xerox. Yeah, I mean, this is the nail in the coffin. If it wasn't 30 minutes ago. And again, Michael is stupid.
Just dumb as a box of rocks, and he can't help it. Now we have research in the campaign because now she's had enough. Okay, you've tried to hurt my sons, you tried to make me crash my car. I went and I pulled the records because I need to know. And here's her birth certificate, Michael. Well, how old does the birth certificate say? Well, it says she's 7, but that's not her picture. She's in on it, Michael. She's in on it. She stole someone's identity. And we see Kristine visiting the former adoptive parents and the mother being like, listen, Natalia is in on it. It's a scam. We don't have your $7,000. You better go try to ask her what happened to it. And so again, now we're doing further research. And I think the campaign is going to ensue now, really proving that Natalia is older than what she says she is. And she's defrauding them, Tyra. Talk to me about these moments.
I just have a hard time taking these moments serious. Like, it's just really hard. I wish I wasn't privy to any information and I could just like take these things as face value. But we're really leaving the narrative of Kristine enjoying what she was doing to Natalia.
Mhm.
She enjoyed. It wasn't like a last resort or somebody's putting pressure on me or I'm being forced. She was mad that Natalia really didn't conform and kind of fall into the narrative of this good American family, and this is yet another hopeless innocent case of a child with dwarfism and all these other look, I lifted her up, and not only lifted her up, but I've embedded all of this deep education into her, and now she's a savant and she's brilliant, and look what I can do. This isn't here. This isn't here. She's just on this crusade to get proof, all because of Michael. I don't want to hurt Michael, so for me to kind of coast him into Natalia even being older, or us possibly having to give her back, get rid of her, send her to a mental institution, whatever. I just need all this proof because I care about Michael. Like, what?
Girl.
What? Where? When did you ever care? It's just hard. It's just really, really hard to sit and digest these things. But even now, with all of this proof, it's still, we're still handling situations with kid gloves. There will never be any amounts of, that's why this doesn't make sense. There will never need to be any regulations or proof or process and protocols I need to go through. If I am a mother like Kristine is being portrayed here and you're endangering my children, I'm getting rid of you, like, period. I'm sending. I don't care about no Michael, no none of that, or these ambitions of a daughter. And we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance at her wedding and give her away. Shut up, Michael. Shut up, stupid. None of that would stop me from just acing her. Like, but now it's just like I'm gonna keep her around because I'm concerned about Michael's feelings and how he's going to react to us losing yet another little girl. This is very, very strange, and I don't know who thought this was a smart choice.
I don't know. Brandon, was the conversation with the previous adopted mother telling? And what did you think of Kristine's research and what she's come up with so far?
I got a lot to say. Well, I don't know what okay. I got to start here. I didn't, Tara. I respect
I
it.
know. You gotta let Brandon go first. Let Brandon go first. I'm sorry, B, but Kristine used these things to kind of validate the torturing of Natalia. This just looks really odd to me.
Well, first, it's really interesting to me because doing this with you guys, I'm learning that again, the Michael and Kristine from the show is not the Michael and Kristine in real life. So that's kind of throwing me for a whirlwind right here. But I like the research that Kristine is doing. It makes sense. I would be doing the same thing. I'm sorry, Ashley, ask me the question again because I really want to answer it.
I just wanted to know what did you think of the interaction with the previous adopted mom and the results of Kristine's research?
The results, I like the conversation that she had with Michael towards the end. And I like to where when she finally got the truth right here, it cut to her in the car boo-hoo-hooing. And then we got the voiceover. That was interesting. I also think that this family is dead, the wife and the husband, because this is in the past, because this is super duper proof that there is some BS going on, that it is a scam. So how do you have this evidence with the birth certificate and the previous family's address on it with this brick and mortar house right here, but in 2019 you can't use that as evidence to prove your innocence? And Kristine and Michael are being charged with neglect in this national or international news. Why hasn't this lady come forth to be like, hey, even if she doesn't want to come forth because she slammed the door in her face, I would be like, go to the address, my checkbook, $7,000, checking routing number. It went to this account. Let's ask them some questions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there is some type of some paper trail, but Kristine, she could have been more upset with this lady right here for dumping this child on them. I kind of wanted to get some more answers as far as them finding out that it was that Natalia's in on it, and they're trying to get the money for surgeries, but at the same time that she hasn't had any surgery. So what did they do with the money, or who got the money? And if Natalia's in on it, what is she doing with the money? I'm confused, but also like happy that we got some answers too. I mean, to answer some questions and ask some more. So I gotta say, I don't know what the hell is going on, but yeah.
That's why this doesn't make sense, because with the ease that Natalia is walking around these blocks, if she had these surgeries, that would make sense. But the pain was because she never had any surgeries. It's just not making any sense.
And right, and I was gonna say, I don't think that Kristine is trying to get proof from Michael's feelings. I don't think she gives a crap about Michael's feelings. I think she's just trying to get answers for herself. But that's just my thing.
Yeah, Kristine is CYA, and now she's CYA. I'm telling you, she is methodical, and she is building something. Just watch, just watch her. And as far as the present or the previous adopted parents, I don't know if they're going to approach that in this series. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if they don't say it by the end, of course, we'll let you know what happens with all of that. But everything ties in at some point in the real story. And so now we're here because she got a call to go on Glenn Beck, and of course she's going to do it. Jake said, "Mom, I thought you said we didn't have to do this anymore." Well, listen, it's flattering. we're going to do it. And so now that we're here, we have some broken promises and some threats, right? Because we're going to do this show. And Michael says, well, listen, you want to get rid of Natalia. You want to put her in an institution. That's not going to happen, Missy, because you're going on this Glenn Beck conservative talk radio show to tell them about how you have, knocked the naysayers about your disabled child, and now only to put away or throw away another disabled child. And she says, Michael, is that a threat? He says, well, heck yeah, it is. And she's like, is this what you want, Buki? Okay. All right, bet. So here's what's going to happen. Natalia, we're not paying for any surgeries. We're not spending any more money for this fraudster. 2, she can't go back to school because I don't want her hurting any of the kids. And you can stay home and take with her. Michael says, I will. And you can cook for her. I'll do a better job than you do, Kristine. And so now we're here. We're at an impasse, and we're still going to pretend to be the good American family and put on a happy face. But that's what it is. The cards are on the table now, Brandon. What did you think of this moment between them? Broken promises and threats. Michael putting his big boy draws on and putting his foot down.
Michael is pathetic. Michael is pathetic. He is a loser. He is trash. He is weak. He is every negative thing you can think of, all bought up into one. I mean, I was just like, bro, are you serious? I don't even want to call him bro. Like, he don't even deserve that. Like, what does it take to? I mean, it broke my heart to where, and she took it like a G. Like, oh, we're here now. AK, our marriage is over. Like Michael got to save the world for me to even come remotely close to liking him again for this right here. I mean, she says that I was boo-hooing on the ride here, and she gave you all this information. Like, why would Kristine make that up? What are y'all married for if you don't believe it? She's just gonna make up, like, just, hey, I'm gonna leave for 2.5 hours, just come back and just make this up. This is where our money went, and you want to spend more money. You don't have a job. She confronted him right here, like, oh my gosh, what about your job? But what about it? He was still about it. Like, she gave him a chance to come clean, and like, and he was all disappointed. Oh, Natalia told me, my soulmate told you that I don't have a job. Oh my God! What? And still, he still was on her side. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. This Captain Save-'em for this demon goblin adopted child, it's pathetic. It's pathetic, and I feel sorry for Kristine.
Have mercy, Tyra.
Brandon say this gone. This would have worked so much better if we just played this straight and we didn't make Natalia a goblin. Like, if there were just little small indiscretions and maybe Kristine took them and ran with them, like the hair situation, or I'll even take the minstrel. It's the, I'm not afraid of you, right? Like, we can't do that and then put us in these type of situations and want us to kind of be indecisive. This makes Michael look like an idiot. It makes him, I don't know, it's something predatory about Michael. I really don't like how he is championing Natalia and her antics over his entire family. This instant, we've had Natalia for like 5 minutes at this point. 5 minutes. This instant overly attachment, and our daughter, she's so special. Like, oh, she's just like, it's just weird. The thought of him spending ample a long time with Natalia is disturbing. Like, it's just all just, it don't have any couth. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, and Kristine's solution, since you got your degree and you know every goddamn thing, yeah, you're gonna be at home with her cooking the meal. She ain't going to school, hitting nobody with a scooter. We're not doing that. If this is what we're gonna do. But it's like, to think the Michael that we know, he was going to bat for Talia this hard. It was like, it's me or her. Like, you got to make a decision. You're going to lose everything, all this footwork you've done to get to this point. Girl, I'll turn you in. I'll call somebody. I was like, really? Michael did this? All right, I'll let y'all have it. But yeah, this really sets the standards for what we will go on being. We'll just be pretending. And I just want to know, like I keep saying, from these moments and these narratives that we're painting, how are we going to get to, extended living situations in other headquarters if Michael is this attached? Like, how do we get there?
We're gonna see. I mean, because let's be honest. Let's call a thing a thing. In real life, Michael was scared of Kristine. Kristine was
Terrified.
pants in the family. He was mealy mouth. Again, we're seeing glimpses of it. He's so afraid to tell her he ain't got a job anymore. He don't know what to do with himself. And you want us to believe in this moment he's making threats to Kristine? Oh, okay. All right. And so, like I said, by the end of it all, it's put on a happy face. We're going to get out here on the Glenn Beck show and we are going to be the good American family. Brandon, what did you think of this closing scene? And what are you in anticipation for in episode 4?
Hopefully Michael realizes how crazy he's acting, man. And I just look at this right here. It sucks. You got the perfect caption, put on a happy face, because like, I mean, I could just imagine being married and you put all these years into it. You got all these kids, and then your spouse just flips it on you and threatens you like that. Like, you can't trust them anymore. It's like you have a pet and the dog bites you or something. Like, the relationship is over. That effing sucks. And when you're right, they're being the crazy person, because like, oh man, I mean, at the same time, I'm like, okay, you picked them, but it sucks. I don't even know if I answered your question. I'm sorry. But
yeah, I said, what do you anticipate for episode 4?
Yeah, Michael. I'm hoping they done. The relationship is over with. Kristine is probably moving out. F you, Michael. The relationship is over. I'm hoping Michael realizes, okay, I'm tripping, but right now, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a safe way to be, because I mean, I don't know what they're going to pull out their hat next episode either. And thank you so much, darling Nikki, for being here. I appreciate you, girl. Good to see you. Good to see you. Tyra, talk to me about this closing scene.
They're trash. These are trash
And what do you
individuals.
anticipate for episode 4? Excuse me, episode 4.
I anticipate more trash. The fact that he, for whatever reason, is going to bat for Natalia, that he's willing to just forget his entire family, including his wife and children. There's that. And Kristine ain't no good. Like, you're gonna let this opportunity trump the safety of yourself and your children, because we don't know what bag of whatever Natalia has in her arsenal ready to go. She has so many things at her liberty. She got a knife, some tacks. She's gonna, you don't know. Like, she's a hazard. She's a danger to your entire family. It's just like, you know what? I'm gonna let that go because I don't want to mess up this opportunity. Fine, you take care of her. Like, this is insane. And the way that we are painting Michael as if he wasn't also reveling in this. Michael like money and fancy cars and where is that Michael? Where is that Michael? Where's all the cars and the TVs and the homes and the lavishness and I am very rich. Where is that Michael? living his best life as the big kid. You were out, living your best life. That's why we couldn't really just desire to have any time to even see exactly what was happening to Natalia and what Kristine was putting her through. We are not getting that. I expect more outlandish situations moving forward. And I'm expecting, which I don't know, because when she got in the corner, I was like, okay, here we go. And then she, I'm not afraid of you, right? He doesn't have a job. I was like, okay, y'all can't let us have this. I just want to know, at what point do we have Natalia submit to be in submission for Kristine to have total control? The narrative isn't fitting that, so I want to know where we're going next.
Girl, they're going to have to switch the perspective. I know people don't think they're going to. They're going to have, in order to get to that part of it, they're going to have to. I listen.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it, Ashley. I don't. I think they're going to paint it differently, and we're still going to have some similar scenarios and have Natalia, when the happening. So you're going to just leave me here? What am I supposed to do here? I don't know anybody. And then she's going to be running them up in the facility. Like, we know where we're going. Like, it's going to be strange. It's going to be strange.
I need them to flip it. I think I give them one more episode for this suspended reality, and then I need them to get back to reality.
Michael's going to be like, it's going to be for a little while, okay? I'm going to come by and visit you all the time. Like, it's going to just watch.
Because
listen, say the last part again, Tyra.
She's gonna be temporary, okay, Natalia? I'm gonna come by and visit you all the time. I promise. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, just do what she says now, and I'm gonna be here every step of the way. You're gonna be safe. Like, watch. They're gonna keep these characters just as ill as they are, and Natalia is gonna continue to just be irate and be torturous to some other folks.
I can't receive it, and without spoiling anything in real life, this it would be a complete travesty if for this 8-episode season it is only from this perspective. That would be, because listen, at the end of the day, harm was caused, okay, and to depict it in this way is just so, it would be so nasty if that's going to be the entire series. I don't know if I can wrap my head around that in good conscience, because.
You lost me, Ashley. When you showed us the creators and producers last time, I was like, oh, I know where we're going. This is exploitation. This is all this is.
My gosh. But y'all, that was episode 3 of Good American Family. And you guys, if you are a member of Struggle Reviews TV or My Sweet Perspective, don't forget, every Saturday night we have Blockbuster Movie Night, and we have options this time, and people can vote. And I don't know if we have a decision already, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know what the options are, and we'll come back to Tyra and see what say. It's a new weirdo every week. Put it up for my seeds.
Just trying to have a good time.
No cure for the eye disease. Do anything for club. Do anything for club. Do anything for club. Do anything for club.
You know you asked for this, right?
They do anything for club. Do anything for club. Watch your mouth. Watch it. Stay in your place. Get out the way. Then your ass can pay. Yeah. No disrespect. We trippin', but we love, yeah. Swapping, I cost her I bought her the Lambo, she bought me the ring. Swapping, practice, make friends. Nigga, it's never too late.
You asked for this, right?
Out of the state. Then I see the bills up out of the brain. The plug of the media fake. I just all right, Tyra. Who's winning? Who's in the lead? Has the voting closed or what?
It's still open. I told you we got until Friday. I don't know where all these people are who were just down Matt Damon. I don't want to see Matt Damon. Clearly, y'all do. Matt Damon is still in the lead. We are still on the talented Mr. Ripley at 53, a whopping 53%. So all of you people who were trying to vote against the talented Mr. Ripley, we are doing a poor job. Gather your folks and go over there and vote.
Go on and vote. And before we get out of here, Brandon, what is going on over there at Just My Opinion?
Yeah, if you're into, thank you for having me, Ashley. I really do appreciate it. I really did enjoy the conversation. I think this is maybe the third or fourth time we linked up, and I've been having a perfect time with you. So thank you for having me. And it's also always a pleasure with Tyra. Overall, and love it, love it, love it. Over on my channel, we just wrapped on Reacher season 3, episode 8. The season finale landed today. It delivered. It stuck the landing, and me and Lamont, we have a recap for you on my channel. We're also covering Daredevil, that's on Disney Plus. And I also recently did 3 reviews for Magazine Dreams with Jonathan Majors. It's good. Got a non-spoiler review and 2 spoiler reviews. And I think I may be going live tonight for Power, like right after it goes live. I may be doing a little midnight thing. It just depends on if I get some rest. So tune in for that and much more around the corner too.
Sounds good. Y'all join him tonight for the Power if he gets on. I know y'all like a live Power reaction after it's all said and done. Tyra, what's going over there at Struggle Reviews TV, ma'am?
I know what's going on. Watch Survival of the Thickest. We will be discussing the latest season of Survival of the Thickest this Sunday. Please be caught up. We are in the 2nd season, so that's a whole lot to watch by then, but hopefully you guys have seen it. Y'all already know about the Saturday watch along. You guys know that we will be wrapping up Flavor Flav tomorrow, as well as the Happy Face Killer. Still kind of deciding what we want to do with that, but we will definitely be wrapping up the last 3 episodes of Flavor of Love. And y'all know Saturdays we are getting into Raising Kanan. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Thank you.
Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you both coming through to talk Good American Family. And yeah, don't forget tomorrow night, Happy Face. I watched episode 3 today and I was fully sad. Like, listen, Dennis, I didn't know Dennis Quaid was who y'all said he was on the TikTok chat. I didn't know nothing about that man in real life. However, he's giving a performance, all right? And if you have any affinity to true crime or like when they dramatize true crime, this is actually a really good series, and we're 3 episodes in. And like I said, and like Tyra said, Flavor Flav. We are wrapping up season 1, and I can't wait to get that done and see New York be heartbroken on that. But we thank y'all for being here. We hope you have the most amazing night, and we will see y'all in the next video. Thanks
myself
for
blessed.
watching.
I've known I was put on this earth to build a world where all kids can feel safe.